Welcome. I am Ellie Katz, the founder and executive director of Sages and Seekers. I started this nonprofit 11 years ago to bring older adults together with teens in an attempt to develop empathy and diminish ageism. I had no idea at that time how much these two age groups had in common and how much they could support each other and how much fun they would have. Your generation and mine are the keepers of wisdom gained from living life, and our experiences and stories are invaluable to humanity. Our successes, failures, hardships, and triumphs are just what we hope you will share with our seekers, which will begin to lay the groundwork for purpose and perspective in their lives. Our award-winning 8-week program that, thanks to the pandemic, is now available online and is designed to shatter stereotypes and create authentic conversation and connection between two generations. And if you're thinking, I can't even get my own grandkids to have a conversation, why would these teens want to talk to me? I'll tell you why. Because you are not their family, and you are filled with incredibly interesting stories about life. If you are interested in a mentoring program, then Sages and Seekers is not for you. Although mentoring happens over the course of the 8 weeks, we find there is more to be gained by not placing more value on one participant than the other. So, although you are addressed as the sage, you will find sometimes you are the seeker during conversations. But for the sake of distinguishing between the two generations, you will be the sages and the teens are the seekers. If you are wondering what you will get out of the program, I could read you many, many testimonials from past sages. But in a few words, you will leave with a sense of value, relevance, more understanding of younger generations, and a warm, fuzzy feeling. As for what will the students get out of the program? Well, University of Southern California did a 2-year study of Sages and Seekers 8-week program and found that the #1 outcome for teen participants was a greater sense of purpose. And that incredible gift happened because of sages like you willing to share their hard-earned life experiences. And the folks at USC also found that sages felt a greater sense of purpose after participating, as well as improved cognitive abilities. So if you want to know more about the program, I'm going to introduce you now to Patty Bishop, who is our principal facilitator, and she'll give you more details about the actual program. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellie. Hi, my name is Patty Bishop, and I'm the principal facilitator here at Sages and Seekers. Before I explain our 8-week program, I want to give you a little background information on how I ended up facilitating this award-winning program. I met Ellie around 15 years ago. We both lived outside of Boston, and our kids went to a high school together. I remember when this program was just percolating, and I really wasn't sure if she was crazy or not. But I had great admiration for her enthusiasm and her incredible energy. Since then, I've helped out in many areas of Sages and Seekers. Ellie called me in May of 2020 and said they had to stop the program in person and go online because of the pandemic lockdown. Would I be able to facilitate just one program in June? So of course I said yes. Well, I have to tell you, it was one of my best life decisions. I ended up facilitating 47 programs during the pandemic with sages and seekers from across the globe. It was incredible, humbling, eye-opening. Not only should we be communicating across generations, I believe it is essential in solving world problems, and I promise you we'll speak more about that during the program. So let me explain our award-winning 8-week program. Each week, you will receive an email from me the day before your program with a Zoom link to the program. The program is 1 hour and 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes are just Sages and myself. This is so we can build community of Sages and have time to ask questions that we might not want to ask in front of the seekers. Also, if there are any technical issues, our tech person can help resolve them. There are generally 8 Sages and 8 seekers per session. Week 1 looks like this. The Sages come on, we have our 15 minutes together, the seekers join us, and then we go through brief introductions. We then move on to what we call have you ever questions to warm up. An example of this might be, have you ever seen a rainbow? Have you ever been skydiving? These questions are designed just to get people talking and to find some commonality. After that, and only on week 1, we move to speed dating. This is where the real fun begins. Each seeker rotates into a breakout room with one Sage where they have a 5 to 6 minute conversation. The seekers continue to rotate into breakout rooms until they have spoken to each Sage. We all come back on screen and the Sages sign off and the seekers stay on, and they help me decide what one person they're going to be paired with for the remainder of the program. Weeks 2 through 7, we warm up with what we call rapid fire questions. This might look like, do you think it's okay to tell a white lie? These kind of questions often spur conversation across the screen, and it's great for warming up. After warming up, we'll do a round robin. This is a 5-minute breakout room where we give you a topic to discuss with a different seeker each week. Again, this is to build community. When you come back on the screen, I will inform you who you're paired with for the remainder of the program, and you'll go into a 40 to 45-minute breakout room with your partner. Here you'll be able to converse about any topic you both agree on. We all come back to the main screen and the Sages sign off. Week 8, we go back to warm up with have you ever questions. For week 8, we stay on the screen together for the entire session. The seekers will have written a letter to their Sage about their experience during the program. They read this aloud on screen. Sages have a minute to say a few words back to their seekers. We then sign off, saying our last, I kid you not, often tearful goodbye. So that's the basic outline of the program. We have a lot of really fun conversations. We have a lot of very serious conversations. But the most important thing I've observed is that everyone makes a connection. If you decide you want to do the program, your next step is to fill out an application. Once you're accepted into the program, you're required to attend a 30 to 45-minute orientation before your 8-week program begins. This is where we explain a few rules and you can ask any questions you may have. After signing up for a program, we confirm your day and time for your program. It's the same every week for all 8 weeks. So that's really it for me. I'm going to turn you over to Maya Clapper, our program coordinator, who will talk to you about what device you'll be logging on from and Wi-Fi requirements. I hope to see you in our next program. Maya?
Thanks, Patty. Hi, my name is Maya and I'm the program manager here at Sages and Seekers. I'm going to talk you through a couple of technological must-haves to be able to participate in our program. Number 1, you must have a strong Wi-Fi connection. A strong Wi-Fi connection leads to strong conversations. Bad Wi-Fi connection leads to problems that can inhibit your participation. Number 2, you must have a video connection. You must be using either a computer, a laptop, or a tablet with a camera on it. That face-to-face contact is so important. We ask that you don't use an iPhone because it cuts off your image and you won't be able to see everyone in your group. Number 3, you must be able to mute and unmute yourself. Sometimes we might mute you if there's something loud going on and we can't locate where it is, so we'll mute everyone, but we don't have the power to unmute you, so you have to be able to do that yourself. Number 4, you must add these emails right here to your safe sender list. We don't want any of our important information getting lost in the ether, and sometimes that happens with our emails. So please, please, please add our emails to your safe sender list so you don't miss out on any important information.
My person was, we found out that we had many things in common, which several of us Sages said, look, there's 50 or 60 years between us and look at how much we have in common. I think that's pretty remarkable.
And it's just wonderful. You may think, hey, how can I talk for 40 minutes to a stranger, to some person that I really don't know, and I don't live in their neighborhood or their state? It is amazing how you can talk to someone that you didn't know. And actually, in our case, 40 minutes was not enough. We could have kept going.
It was such that the role of seeker and sage was a fluid type of relationship. At some points, I was learning about what they were feeling and thinking, oh yeah, that I remember that. And then when I was sharing it, the roles reversed.
And I just cannot tell you the feeling. It is a different feeling than talking to your own children, talking to your grandchildren who may be the same age.
What really amazed me and moved me is how much the students were all involved with each of their sages. That especially listening to the tributes from all 8 people, the impact that potentially that we can all have on them is just remarkable. And I felt very proud to be a part of this conversation. I mean, I don't have that many young people in my life on a regular basis, and I know that this is very different because it's not a relationship in the way that you might with a young person in person. But it's a tremendous way to further conversation between generations. This program is not for us to be teachers or necessarily mentors. I mean, they have enough teachers, they have enough adults in their lives that serve in that role, and it really is about conversation. And to me, I love that. I mean, I'm happy to be a mentor to a young person, but that's not how I approach this. And it's really about conversation. And if what Patty is saying is true for so many people, young people especially, if they're starved for conversation, let's go for it.
You're not a mentor. You understand, you listen to each other, and you learn from each other just as a matter of the type of relationship that you have. And different ages don't make any difference, because if you have the feelings, we all have the feelings, they do too, and they have them on steroids because of the time of their life. So it's really exciting, and I learned a whole lot. I mean, being called a mentor sometimes makes me feel a little silly because I learned so much. So,
and you, I'm telling you, will not be able to wait until the following week when you will meet again.
it's just been a boon to me, both socially and personally. So,
What are the next steps? Sign up using our application. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at these emails listed right here. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you soon.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, Sages.
Bye-bye.
Bye.